This episode is brought to you by Barefoot Dreams, guys. You know how comfy my studio is? I sit around on beautiful comfort clouds. It's called Cozy Chic fabric because that's what this is made out of. I've never had fabric in my life that's this comfy. It's like hugging a beautiful little feather pillow. It's so nice. I actually have my cousin in the studio right now from Italy, so I have to say it's the most bellissima cosa ho sentito, which means it's the most beautiful thing I've ever touched. We're going to give a little flavor for my cousin Joyce at the beginning of this episode. Guys, because they're a part of the Pop-Up Show with Paul Season 2, you can get 15% off your first purchase at barefootdreams.com. Let's go.
I think it'd be fun to do like a meditation kind of thing.
Audio, like an audible or something?
Like give people guided meditations.
This is Chad's first test at a guided meditation. Let's take a moment, everybody, to just take in the moment with Chad here.
Now I want you to get into full lotus position, back straight, head feels like it's being pulled up towards the sky by John Cena.
Did you say John Cena too?
Yeah.
Yes, hello, welcome back to the Pop-Up with Paul, friends, guys. I'm so grateful you're back here. Thanks for subscribing, clicking, whatever you did to get here, whatever noise you canceled out to come to this podcast, we appreciate it. Now, you guys know I do stand-up all over town. I meet a lot of cool comedians, but this might be the first time I've had on a true activist, a believer of the people, somebody who's put his blood, sweat, and tears into changing lives for others. You know, we always have people come in here talk about how funny they are, their comedy. This guy shows up every day with his buddy JT and works hard to change the world. Activist, Stoke Lord. Ladies and gentlemen, Chad Kroeger.
Dude, thank you for that introduction. That was fire.
I auditioned for the WWE, but I
never
got it. I want to be like, ladies and gentlemen, you know?
Yeah. Do you ever want to be a wrestler?
No, I don't think I have the muscle. Would you have ever done that?
Yeah, I tried for a little bit in high
really?
school. I tried to get super jacked and didn't take. And but you know, I did wrestle this guy Frank, and you
just didn't get super, but you got jacked, dude. You're not out of shape, you know?
Are you for real right now?
Yeah, man. Why not?
Dude, thank you.
Come on.
Yeah, dude, I've been doing pull-ups, not to brag. But
Nice.
Yeah, I've been.
How
doing
many can you do without stopping?
Right now I'm doing about 12.
Really?
Yeah. I've been working on it. What's up?
That's 12 more than me. With your own body weight, that's tough, man.
It's tough. I got a pull-up bar, and I've been watching Mark Wahlberg videos and just cranking it out.
Nice.
Yeah.
Do you get up? How inspired are you by that regimen? Like, do you get up really early to get your day going?
I tried getting up at 1 a.m., but which is what he's doing now.
Probably.
But I didn't realize that he goes to bed at like 5:30, and I was going to bed at midnight. So I was kind of like running on E, and I'm like, I don't know how you do this.
Yeah.
Like I literally just went to sleep.
I think you need to take E or like an actual supplemental drug to figure out how to ride through that.
I mean, Molly and pull-ups would be interesting.
What would it feel like?
I don't know. I mean, maybe I could be the first to find out.
Maybe you will get super jacked. Just steroids and Molly, and it's going to be the most jacked, methed out guy.
That could be the next chapter of my life is Molly and pull-ups.
You have the look of a guy who did a ab workout video in the 80s that's still popular. There's this guy who did 8-minute abs.
Do I look like that guy?
Well, you like the blonde a little bit.
Yeah.
If you were wearing spandex, you would look a little bit like that guy.
Dude, preach. Yeah, I think sometimes I feel like I was born a little bit too late. Like I was born in 90, but if I were born in like 70, I think I could have crushed like a workout program tape.
Totally.
Yeah.
How strong is your mustache fur if you could grow it?
Not great. A little puby.
Yeah.
But,
sorry, I said if you could grow it, assuming you couldn't. I think I would.
No, it's. Did you looks like you got good growth.
Yeah, it's hereditary, man. I'm a gorilla.
Did you ever like go full beard?
Yeah, sometimes I buff it out.
Yeah.
But I think it makes my face look fat on camera. I get insecure doing this job for a while.
Really? So
yeah.
Because I feel like it's the opposite a lot of time for people.
If you're super fat, you can shape your jawline to the beard. That's cool. I'll probably get to that in a couple years.
Yeah.
Like I'll just have like a really pointed.
Yeah.
You know those guys that's like, wow, how skinny is? Where does his chin end?
Dude, that would be sick. Right? I could see you with that for sure.
Ponytail, no hair on top. It's kind of like poor man Steven Seagal, like Italian Steven Seagal.
Yeah, I get the same thing where if I have stubble, a lot of times people, you see like celebrities when they have stubble, they're like, oh, it looks really good. You have good stubble.
Thanks, man.
But I feel like for me, stubble sometimes I feel like it makes my face look fat.
Interesting. Yeah, it's kind of insecurity. With all of your notoriety the past few years, internet fame, the Netflix show, do you get self-conscious about the looks? I mean, do you groom often? What's the deal?
Yeah, I mean, my flow is super important to me. That's that's SoCal for hair. Or I think they say it in hockey too.
Yeah.
And lacrosse. But yeah, and sometimes I would get comments, because my hairline naturally, and my brothers have this too. It's like kind of widow's peaky. Okay. So they'll like come back right here a little bit, and I would get comments and be like, dude, you're losing your hair. And that would, I'd be bedridden for like a few days. And then some people, I remember one time someone made a comment about my teeth. Oh, what'd they say about my teeth? They said that my teeth, my teeth don't fit my face.
Oof.
Yeah.
Not cool.
They're veneers, so my mom got me veneers when I was like 14.
No way.
Yeah.
That's a nice 14-year-old gift.
Yeah, I drank a lot of Coca-Cola and a lot of Fun Dip, and she was like, aesthetic is important. And I didn't even know what the word aesthetic meant. Right. She just took me to the dentist, and next thing I knew, I had new teeth. I was like, that was sick.
I mean, they fit great.
Thanks.
Maybe it was worse then because you had to grow into them.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, this was like a year ago.
I was curious, looking in your work and you and JT stuff, like, what's your current cause? Like, how often does the cause change for you guys? Because it seems like every day you wake up and you're like, we need to go fight the good fight. Yeah,
with our causes, it's not, we rarely are we like, okay, we need a new cause. It's all inspiration. So sometimes it can be like 5 causes in a month. Sometimes it can be 0. It's literally if the world is speaking to me and saying, hey, I need change and I think you need to spearhead it, I'll respond and be like, I hear you, Pachamama. I'll go out and speak. But right now, JT actually came up with a cause about how this kind of relates to what we were talking about. Having a good hairstylist kind of changes everything.
Yeah.
But, a good hairstylist, expensive haircut, that's really only afforded to the privileged few. Mm. And so, I think it would behoove the government to give everyone a dope stylist who can read auras as well and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, what's the percentage, too, of, like, actual styling and therapy and conversation? It's pretty even.
Good call. Yeah. Right? Yeah, I've worked through a lot of trauma while getting an age cut.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would be tough to have a deaf barber.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, not to discriminate against them, but I just think it would be hard to bear. Maybe it'd be good because they would just listen. Well.
Yeah, you could just talk.
I could just talk.
Yeah. It'd be, you just get it out.
Just get it out. Yeah. How honest are you in the chair? Because I feel like I'm pretty clear now. I think stand-up, doing comedy for so long makes you a lot more honest with people right away.
Yeah.
So I do find, like, I kind of say it all to my barber now. And I've had it for a bit, but...
Totally. I agree. Yeah, I'm very open. And my hairstylist, actually, she's really good at reading energies. Mm. So every time I go to see her, I'll check beforehand. I'm like, do I have any bad energy stuck to me? And she's like, no, you're good. And I'm like, okay.
I don't know if you're capable of having bad energy. You don't come off.
Dude, I appreciate that. I went to New Orleans, though, recently. My girlfriend's coworker's clairvoyant said a bad energy attached itself to me. Yeah. And so we saged it out. And
okay. Is it gone?
I think so.
Do you know what it was? Did you pinpoint what it...
No, apparently I got it at the bar, Huge Ass Beers. Apparently there was, maybe they're doing some demonic rituals there. Really good beer, though.
Yeah, that's the hard part, too. Like, you could be around bad forces, but good beer.
I mean, yeah, if they have, like, a hand grenade, that's like a drink. Have you tried it? Mm-hmm. If they have that's kind of where how the devil gets to you, though. Yeah. It'll be like, hey, do you want this hand grenade? By the way, I'm going to steal your soul. Which seems like kind of a fair trade to me.
Totally. I mean, there's one called Antifreeze on Bourbon Street, too. It's like a green drink I remember having at a bachelor party.
Yeah.
But maybe the Christians had it right back in the day. You know, this is the gateway to evil spirits. That's why Prohibition happened.
Yeah, dude, good call.
You want a drink?
Oh, dude.
I'm just messing with you.
Oh,
So,
crap.
you know, you're like, yeah. I mean, you're so fun to talk to. I am curious. You and JT are so good at what you do.
Thank you.
How do you not? I mean, this is kind of breaking down the stuff, but I'm curious how you don't crack so often. You guys are brilliant at just saying the most ridiculous shit.
Yeah.
And not cracking. It's so hard to do that.
Thank you. I feel like I do crack a lot. When we're in more serious situations, like if we're giving a speech at city council, the pressure's so high and the stakes are so high, and you feel like you have one take, so it's easier to not crack there. But in normal conversation, I laugh a ton. So I don't know. I think I get a certain joy from weirding people out by saying weird stuff. Yeah.
I share that same passion because I've done similar types of things over the years. There's something fun, and why I love the work you guys do is there's something fun about bringing like the goofy to the real life. Is that part of your? That's part of my philosophy. Life is short. Like you shouldn't be so serious at this meeting or this moment or at the beach. Or you guys have really broken that down for people with your stuff.
Yeah, I guess I've always kind of. Whether I was more conscious of it or not, I just kind of you look at the absurdity of life and the comedy of it all. I'll be at the dog park sometimes, and I'll like see people at the dog park who they'll be on their phone. They're so serious and stressed out, and then if you take a step back and you're just like the idea of, because in my mind I'm always just sort of like, why are we here? Like what is this? Because we're just like thrust into this world and we act like it's normal, but to me it's just crazy. Like, people are just like, oh god, I can't get this deal, whatever it is. But I think if you don't get sucked into that and you kind of take a step back, you can just see how ridiculous it all is. It's and so I think I think I've always just liked being goofy. It's like my favorite thing to do. It's
good the priorities shouldn't shift. Like I'm a firm believer we should stay kids and play. I mean, we're in the same business. Like you should play all the time.
Yeah.
And then obviously like do your taxes. Like I struggled with that early on. I was like, I also have to do this shit.
Yeah.
But we should all be able to play. And I feel like when I watch you guys, it's like you remind that to me. Because, man, you don't have to sweat stuff. But I love that about you guys, man. I think that's important.
Man. Yeah.
And what's the craziest kind of response? I've seen, obviously, things happen to you on camera, but what's the weirdest or craziest thing that has happened since internet fame and the Netflix thing? Because people kind of... The problem with the type of videos that you do, it's not a problem, but people then start to recognize that you're those guys.
Right.
So does stuff happen to you guys? Or is there something crazy that's happened since you've been kind of out there saving the world?
One of our big causes is we're big advocates for, can I say butthole?
Yeah.
Thanks.
It's like the cleanest way to say that, actually. It's like the safest TV. We're not on TV, but it's the most TV safe way to say that.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, we're big advocates for butthole sunning. And so oftentimes, especially if I'm in Santa Monica or Venice, someone will see me and, I've been very vocal about it. I'll post photos and videos on my story of my legs in the air, just letting people know that I'm letting the sun penetrate right there. Mm-hmm. And people will see me and they'll start doing it. And I'm like, this isn't the place. The waterfront in Venice, which is a bar, people are trying to have a good time. And I respect that you're trying to be healthy, but, I didn't come here to see your beehole in this environment. I'm happy seeing it, but just not here.
Anybody ever get arrested for indecency or anything because of that?
No, I think, especially in Venice, you can get away with the cops and just say, hey, this is a holistic thing and this is part of my religion. And even, I think there's ancient carvings from Mesopotamia of people doing the same practice.
Yeah, that's how far back it goes, huh?
Yeah.
That's where they say everything came from. My buddy's actually from Iraq, and he claims that it all started there. Mesopotamia,
wow.
pizza, everything we like today.
Yeah.
Noodles.
It all came from there, yeah.
Yeah, perineum sunning.
Yeah. I think
I didn't know
pizza
that
and
one.
perineum sunning were kind of invented the same day.
Pizza
Yeah.
and perineum.
Yeah. Two
That'd
of
be
the
a good
greatest
spot.
pleasures. Yeah.
Be a good spot. Maybe you should open a business where you can get a bite and then maybe get some sun.
Right.
Maybe this is what we're talking about here.
So yeah, what would we call it? Like pizza and beehole?
Pizzenium?
Pizzenium sunning?
Have you branched into other businesses? Like, I feel like the stature you've reached gives you opportunities. Like you're an influencer. We could say
Right.
that title. I kind of
Yeah.
struggle with that title. Do you like
Yeah.
owning? Because you are.
Yeah.
You
I
influence
don't mind.
people.
Yeah.
Has there been other side hustles from all of this that you're getting into now?
No, right now, mainly just focused on building everything and making content and stand up and touring and stuff.
Nice.
Yeah, we've dabbled in like merch and all that kind of stuff, but I don't know. In the future, I feel like everyone's creating a beverage now. I don't know if that's. I wonder if there's something I could do that maybe is. I don't know. I think it'd be fun to do like a meditation kind of thing.
Audio, like an audible or something.
Like
That
give
would
people
work.
guided meditations, but maybe make it a little bit goofy.
Could we try one right now just to hear what? Why don't
Yeah.
you practice? Because you're
Yeah.
here. We got the
Yeah.
beautiful mics.
Yeah.
This is Chad's first test at a guided meditation. Let's take a moment, everybody, to just take in the moment with Chad here.
All right. Now I want you to get into full lotus position. Back straight. Head feels like it's being pulled up towards the sky by John Cena, but in a gentle way. Take a deep breath in and out. Follow the breath. Now let's take a moment for some gratitude. Think of some things you're grateful for. Brad Pitt's abs. The cheesy gordita crunch. Boobs. And just melt into that gratitude. And feel from your root chakra all the way to your dome that Kundalini energy.
Dude, I've never been more serene. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Did the
Wow.
gratitude help?
It really did. Did you say John Cena too?
Yeah,
Because I thought I felt something, but I didn't see it.
that's sick.
Yeah, it was cool. Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
A gentle John Cena just lifting you
That
up.
was nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. Wow. You got to, dude, that's a business for you. That's going to happen. We just started it. You just
Thanks,
started it.
man.
You could easily do that.
Do you want to be business partners?
Yeah. 80-20?
Yeah, 80 for you?
I mean, no. Well, let's just split it even.
Okay.
I would, dude. I mean, that's
Yeah.
smart. You should do something like that.
I love it.
You got to branch. You got to think that way now. I mean, this is what we were talking about before we started. You got to think in all the. There's such a big pie now. Maybe
Yeah.
that's part of it for you.
Yeah, I was listening to like, I was trying, do you meditate at all? Have you ever done it?
I listen to true crime podcasts when I fall asleep, which is
Oh.
probably a problem.
My girlfriend does that too.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It calms me down. Like, and then the blood splattered everywhere, and I'm like,
Yeah.
but
That's meditation.
I've tried listening to some things. Do you?
I started doing transcendental meditation like 10 years ago, and then I was listening to like Zen. I tried some Zen meditation, but it's almost so simple where you're like, is this am I doing this right? It's almost that, which is interesting. But yeah.
I found versions of it. Like one time I had a crazy week and it wasn't as hot as it is now, but I went out there and put on like meditative music, sat with the sun, not hitting the face for 10
Yeah.
minutes, didn't turn the phone off.
Yeah.
That felt like very meditative. Like sometimes
sounds nice.
I'm too busy. I feel like we all are, but that's the problem.
Yeah.
You got to find
Yeah.
moments to just like center yourself a little bit.
Sink in.
Yeah. Nobody
nice.
does that anymore.
No.
Using the phone is good though, like listening to something or like putting it on airplane mode and downloading something and listening, you know?
It's the best. Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah. I've been trying to do that more.
It's good.
Yeah.
I'm sure you've said this on podcasts before, but I am curious about backstory just for a minute, just to do my due diligence as an interviewer.
Yeah.
You and JT, how long has this been going? When did you first fall in bromantic love together?
So
It seems like.
Yeah, I'd say, it's been going, this partnership, about 15 years. It really all kind of started, there was a Four Hose beer bong at our buddy Kellen's house. And yeah, at this time, JT and I, we weren't really, I was a surfer, he was a bodyboarder. We're kind of supposed to be faux. And then I was going to do this Four Hose beer bong with Parker, Kellen, and Fritz. And but Kellen was on antibiotics. So JT subbed in. And as soon as he twisted the nozzle and was just sucking it down, I just couldn't stop staring, and it was like a cosmic connection.
Right.
And I was like, dude, we should like change the world. And now we have.
It's like a lightning bolt. Sometimes life gives you these moments to just partner with the right people,
Hundo P.
I love that, man. That's important.
Yeah.
It's also good to see you guys grow as a duo. It's nice to have a buddy in the growth,
Yeah,
to
Hundo
do it
P.
alone.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you were telling me before you guys tour together, you're on the road.
We're on the road, yeah. We're going back on the road. It's a blast. It's cool to see the rest of the country.
Yeah.
We do because we do stand up. We do like separate sets, but then we'll do like a Q&A together at the end. It's a lot of fun.
What's the funniest thing that you've learned from like everybody tours, and you really, I think we get in bubbles on the coast a little bit. I'm from Jersey. You're from North Cal.
Yeah.
North Cal's kind of country though, right? But
yeah,
we do get in bubbles on these sides. Has there been what's the funniest thing that's happened to you guys touring so far?
this guy proposed at our show.
Nice. That's pretty big.
But she wasn't there. He called her.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. And he was on stage and he called her and he's like, hey, do you want to get married? And she's like, you could tell she was pissed.
Did she say yes?
Yeah.
Pressure from the crowd.
Mm-hmm.
That's big though.
I'd be interested to see what happened.
Yeah. Why would he not have her there? I feel like that'd be better.
Yeah. In retrospect, we kind of pushed him into it. In retrospect, maybe not the best move on our part.
Do it now.
Yeah.
Hey, we maybe they'll hire you to be at the wedding. Maybe they'll be like, come back.
That'd be sick.
That'd be nice.
That'd be sick.
I love that, man.
Yeah.
How often are you gone? Like you're gone every weekend?
No, probably 2 weekends a month.
Nice.
Not a lot. I like to tour and stuff, but I also like to be here and just making content.
Yeah.
And making videos, and we work on other projects as well. So we do our podcast, and then we have sort of bigger ideas, kind of TV wise and all that kind of stuff. So, I like doing it all. But I don't like being on the road all the time. That's not really my goal.
It's hard to have a routine if you travel all the time. That's the hardest thing.
Yeah, and I have a girlfriend and a dog at home. You have kids. That's like, I'm sure when I get to that point, it's gonna be even tougher. I already feel bad leaving my dog.
Right. It's I think you just game it. You figure out like I don't go on the road. I go on sometimes for work, but I eventually would just do it like saturated. Like let's do like a lot of it and then be done. You figure out balance.
Yeah.
That
sounds nice. Yeah.
The balance of life. I mean, growing North Cal, I feel like is a very balanced. Like all I imagine is like the big trees in the woods up there. Is that where you're from?
I was born in Sacramento.
Oh, okay.
And then lived in San Francisco and then spent some time in like Santa Clara and Santa Cruz and all that stuff. Yeah. So, but yeah, we ventured into the redwoods a little bit. Tahoe. I took Tahoe for granted. I didn't realize how sick it was.
How close is that up there?
hour and a half.
Wow. Yeah, I've never been, but I know it's beautiful. I've
Yeah.
seen a lot of people go there from here.
Yeah.
I'm still learning all the California things. That's why I'm glad you're here. I feel like
Yeah.
you represent California really well. Like,
Oh, dude, thank you.
you're you're like a California guy.
Yeah.
Did you get that before you did this stuff and people saw you that way?
Yeah, especially in college. They
Yeah?
always thought I was from San Diego because I like to surf and all that kind of stuff. So
Yeah.
I like to be tan, and
Comes with the
it's
territory.
it's really important to me. Yeah.
When did you start surfing?
When I was about 13.
Nice.
Yeah.
Up there?
Yeah, in San Francisco.
That's so cool.
Yeah, it's brutal. Just the water's cold.
Really?
Yeah, it's not brutal, but the water's just cold.
Is it colder than the East Coast water?
In the winter, no.
No, okay.
But I think it gets down to like, it's gotta get down to like 56, 55,
Damn.
something like that. Yeah.
You ever surf in Hawaii?
Yes.
I was just there, dude. The waves were the coolest thing I've ever seen. The water was the nicest water I've ever swam in.
So nice.
Incredible.
That's where it feels like it. You're like, oh, this is natural.
Yeah. It's like you belong.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
you surf big waves then. Surfing is crazy. What's the biggest wave you've ever done?
I think 15 feet.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's scary.
It was in Mexico.
That's so cool.
Yeah, it's a long way down. You're like,
How much of Point Break do you feel like you are in your real life now? Like, would you think of that movie in your head, as you live your life a little?
all the time. I think, are we talking Bodie or Johnny Utah?
Keanu. Probably Keanu. What's his name? Johnny, right?
Johnny
Yeah.
Utah, yeah.
You're kind of like Bodie, though, right? Maybe more.
Patrick Swayze?
Yeah.
Dude, I mean, I wouldn't mind being either of them. Johnny's just he's a go-getter. He's a tough guy. He's full of cum. Bodie, just ripped, spiritual, also full of cum. And I think I'm a combination of the two.
I really appreciate. I was watching your show before you came on, and I
Yeah.
really appreciate you guys went to that spot in the movie up in the border of Malibu.
Oh yeah.
It's in your show.
What's it called?
I just ate
Neptune's
there.
Net.
Neptune's Net.
Yeah.
I just went there with my daughter. We stayed up there.
Oh, you did?
I'd never even been up there
Oh,
ever.
cool. Yeah.
And I felt that way there. I was like, this is the Point Break spot.
Yeah.
It's like surfer lore, right? Like, it's the spot.
100%.
Drug deals in the parking lot, bikers. It's like a whole scene over there.
Get fried shrimp.
But I appreciate that you guys took your show there. It felt very like local.
Yeah, it was. That show, we wanted to make it like an ode to California.
It seemed that way.
Yeah.
Talk to me about like your dreams coming true in that sense. Like, you do this YouTube thing, you do the city council stuff, it blows up. How many?
Yeah.
I mean, you've had a lot of city council videos. That's how I knew you. I knew you before meeting you as that guy.
Yeah.
The funniest videos.
Thank
They're
you.
so great, dude.
Oh, thanks, man.
And again, because you guys play it so straight.
Yeah.
And I love seeing serious people not know how to handle. Like, that's the
Yeah.
best part. Like, seeing everybody there like not know what to do with it
Yeah.
is amazing.
Yeah.
You do this. I want to know how it first started, but then I'm curious like how it goes from that point to then getting the show.
Yeah. So we started doing the videos in like 2016, and then did a council video in like 2017. The first one we were advocating for a Paul Walker statue, and that one went viral. But what was interesting is it wasn't really connected to us because it was in San Clemente, and then the San Clemente Times, they posted it and went viral. So that people thought we were like, just some random dudes. It wasn't like connected to like our social media or whatever.
Right.
So, and then we did another one like almost a year later about house parties in LA. We wanted to, protect house parties in LA. And that went viral, and that was more connected to us. So then from there, like Barstool posted it.
Nice.
And so we started to get like an audience.
Yeah.
And then that's when we started to get attention from the industry, whereas like people were reaching out because I think to them they saw an obvious TV show in it,
Right.
of like activist bros. So we started meeting with a bunch of producers and stuff, and that was always the goal. Is like just because growing up we came from like the era whereas growing up it's like you watch Comedy Central and Chappelle's Show and Daily Show, Colbert, Key and Peele. It was like all those shows were, having a show on Comedy Central was sort of like you were like christened as like a new rising comedian, whatever.
Sure.
And so that was sort of the goal. And so we started meeting with these producers, and then we eventually partnered with Absolutely Productions. They did Nathan For You and Eric Andre's show. And,
oh, nice.
And we're like, that's the perfect fit because they do that pranky style.
Yeah.
And then, the whole process took about a year. And then we pitched to Netflix, and we pitched to a number of places. And Netflix, we pitched to them, and then 2 or 3 weeks later, they bought it.
That's amazing, man.
Yeah.
Congrats.
So, thanks. Yeah.
That is the dream.
Yeah.
Right?
It was pretty wild. It all happened so quickly.
Yeah.
And then we started writing it, a few months after that, and then COVID hit, and we were delayed by a year and a half. So it ended up being a longer process than we anticipated, but it was all really kind of. It was wild because it was exactly what we envisioned.
Sure. Also, what I love, what's inspiring, I was just saying before, I met a comic the other night who's complaining about working, and when something takes off like wildfire like that, and you're a part of it, and it's your comedy, this is the best time to also have these opportunities. You would not have gotten the Netflix look without having the gusto to just go to City Hall and film it and do what you guys do, so
and one thing I learned from the show is I kind of took social media for granted. I kind of I was like, the goal is TV,
right?
And so in my mind I was like, oh, if we get a show, then I guess it's this classic thing. You're like, oh, if we get a show, then everything is taken care of.
Yeah.
You're just cruising. And I kind of didn't realize the power, I knew the power of social media, but I don't think I really understood it and how important it was and how important the audience there is.
Yeah.
Because those are really your most loyal, dedicated fans. And so I kind of, it made me see that it's all changing where it's
totally,
it's on social media, your connection with people, that's kind of the most important thing.
Yeah. Well, you can do anything with it. I mean, I always say the last people that not need it is big actors. If you jump to Leo status, you can skip Instagram.
Yeah.
Because you're larger than life and you're in movies.
Yeah.
That's the last job in this business, I think. That cool actor, they want the mystique.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But even them, box office is now it's part of the marketing. You cast people.
Yeah.
I think Kevin Hart started that. He was one of the first to be like, oh no, you want my people I built?
Yeah.
This is in the contract now. I'll tweet about, I'll Instagram it, but it's
he puts that in his contract?
Yeah, he was one of the first actors to do that.
Oh,
he was because he built. I have so many stories from New York. I know the guys from Caroline's. He used to drive from Philly to Caroline's and would stand at the door after a set and get everybody's email and everybody. He was an old school grassroots hustler.
Yeah.
And so when he finally became a movie star, he was like, "These are my people, not yours. I'm not just going to post this for free."
Yeah.
He changed the model, I think, for that.
Interesting.
But not all movie stars have it. But they're kind of the last that I think a part of me wishes I could get cast in this cool movie and just do and quit it all and just be like, just watch me in this movie now.
It does sound nice. Yeah.
But also to your point, what a great tool to connect with people. Yeah. And I love the stuff you do individually now. You go to gas stations and play erotic novels, right? Is that right?
Yeah.
The stuff you do prank social media stuff now. That's so funny, dude.
Oh, thanks, man.
I love that.
Yeah.
It's an outlet for us,
Yeah,
it's an outlet to get the bits out, It never ends.
Yeah, and we were talking about this earlier. You mentioned some comedians complain about they feel like they have to put out clips and stuff, but that is what we signed up to do, is to make comedy for an audience.
Yeah.
And I think if you just shift the mindset there, you can literally, I like to sort of wake up every day. I'm like, oh, I can make something for an audience today.
Yeah.
And just share it with them.
Yeah.
And I think it's such a cool thing to be able to do.
It's
and
so
to
gratifying.
And to audience test too.
Yeah. It's so gratifying. Also, like I said earlier, we picked a job where we get to play. That's why I've tried to reposition how I look at social media too, because it's almost like it becomes so at mercy of growing. You want it so bad.
Yeah.
I don't want to be that way, and I'm not about it, but I'm also appreciative. I'm not starting nowhere. None of us are. We're all doing our thing.
Yeah.
So it's a compare and despair thing too. Like you look at everybody else in similar lanes of you,
Yeah.
and you start getting real negative about it. But if we popped on your meditation audio and just thought about the gratitude of being able to, work and do this stuff, it's awesome.
Dude, yeah. Just being able to, dude, if I could help people meditate like that, that'd be
Maybe
next
we're
level.
talking about something new for your shows, dude. You bring them up with the laughter, and then you take them down to a little
help them
serenity, gratitude.
get present.
Then you take your pants off and do the little sunning, because it's your show.
Is there anything better than that?
I mean, that's a full 360 right there.
Yeah.
Is there anything you're like excited that you haven't really done yet? Like you testing like the prank stuff you do at the gas stations and in public? Like you do a lot of good public stuff.
Yeah.
Did you just wake up and decide to do them, or are you kind of in a process with all that?
I'll think it out. There's some repeatable ones that I'll go to just to keep making stuff, and then I'll try and think of some new things here and there. But a lot of times the idea will come. You can't really force them.
Yeah.
I've found. I've been doing a lot of stuff just talking to camera too. I think that's fun. And trying to just I think it's fun to just kind of like give like little monologues.
Totally.
So just kind of experimenting.
What is the dream for you? Or are you living the dream now?
I love what I'm doing now. I think I love doing TV. I love acting. So I'd love to just keep doing those things. I like acting a lot. I think doing some kind of one-man show would be really fun.
Nice. Yeah.
Like some presentation, sort of like a discussion.
Mm-hmm.
Like an autobiographical discussion and be like, this is my life.
Mm.
It's like kind of a case study for Stoke or something.
It's like not a TED talk, it's a Chad talk.
Yeah.
Kind of like a talk.
A Chad talk, yeah.
I could see you doing that with the presentation.
That sounds like fun.
Some graphics.
What about you?
I want to do this in a bigger way, I think, on stage. I used to want to be a late night host.
Yeah.
Is my dream, which I still feel, but I want to do it live. I think I want to do interviews and comedy live more because I'm doing stand-up so much. So live is just the best. Obviously, I love doing the podcast, but now that I do stand-up all the time, like there's nothing. If I could blend these two passions, interviewing and stand-up, that's the goal, I think. Whatever it looks
sounds
like.
Fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd love to have you back live with an audience one day when we get there.
That'd be sick.
It'd be awesome, dude.
Yeah.
How long have you been with your girlfriend?
2.5 years. Almost in 3 years in January.
Did she meet you from the internet?
No. We met at a concert.
That's good.
Yeah. Zed, the DJ.
Zed's your boy, right?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Is that one of the unique things that came from all this, or was that before?
Yeah. No. That came from the internet.
Nice.
He's awesome. Such a sweet guy.
He is a great. I've interviewed him. He's a nice guy. Yeah, sweet guy.
That's awesome.
Back in the day, super sweet when he started too. So
yeah. And who's your favorite person you've interviewed?
Man, I get questions like that. I get to talk to everybody. I married my wife, who I met on camera in 2013. So that's
really?
Crazy. Yeah.
Wow.
So I have to say her, like politically.
Mm-hmm.
But J-Lo, man, is so hot. No, I'm kidding. It's I just met Jerry Seinfeld this year, so
That's
that
cool.
was up there. And I kind of hate talking about, like, thank you for bringing it up. I'm so insecure to be name droppy with, like, I talk about it on stage a little bit, but I have a great job where I get to meet people.
Yeah.
Everyone's nice though in this environment. I realize I'm a little bit like rose-colored glasses with my job.
Yeah.
Because everyone's doing promotional stuff. So if you're going to be a jerk in that environment, like, you have to really be a jerk.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what I realized after many years of doing it.
Yeah.
But Seinfeld was just really funny because he was doing observational stuff to me, and it's like that's the most famous observational comedy voice, and he's like, look at this suit, like he just starts doing it.
Yeah.
That was just as a kid, that was very surreal.
Yeah.
You know, and really that's probably up there for me this year.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
How about you? Do you have famous friends now from Netflix and YouTube?
Here and there, yeah.
Yeah. That's such currency
cool.
in LA. I feel like you start knowing famous people, you're like, yeah. Like,
yeah. I think it's been cool. But I'm very much of a homebody.
Yeah.
And I still love my hang out with my college friends. But my girlfriend and I, we kind of just like hanging out at home with our dog.
Yeah.
That's like our favorite thing to do. But it's always cool to like connect with people you look up to. And,
yeah.
So that's that's always a fun perk for sure.
How about in the stand-up scene? Because you're a headliner. I do feel like once you headline in LA and you have a name, you do become a peer with your heroes. Like everybody performs here.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool, right? Do you feel like you have to step
Yeah.
your game up when you show up to a club and like someone's there like that? You're like, oh man.
Yeah, and I still, I'll still get, there's that kind of like when you first start, there's people who are at that level, and then you're on a show with them. There's still that intimidation factor of like, of just kind of, I don't really know if I get starstruck, but kind of, feeling like you don't want to do poorly in front of them.
Right.
Yeah.
It's such a weird thing though because, yeah, we want to impress other comics all the time who we look up to.
Yeah.
But it's like it's not always it's about the audience. But I struggle with that too. And I have a big show tonight with a bunch of big names, and I'm like in my head about it. Same reason.
I've been thinking about this lately. It's so. I've been trying to do more new material in shows. And it's hard to do that when sometimes someone will walk in where you're like, oh, I don't want to try a new joke in front of that guy because, it could not go well. And I'm trying to get over that.
You know what helped me the other night? I had like a mediocre set, and I realized that I've seen my heroes do the same sets.
Yeah.
So like once you realize you might be like, you can have a mediocre set because you're trying new stuff and it doesn't always land.
Yeah.
And then you can go on an arena tour in a year. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
It's just that we think it matters.
Yeah.
But you can't get to like that level of comedy without doing it.
Yeah, you can't grow.
You can't grow. I'm the same way though, dude. I just I was off for like a month. I got back. I was like, I'm doing all new. It's a fundraiser show, whatever.
Yeah.
Get there, sold out, all paid customers, like super happy to be there. I thought it was like just like a throwaway night.
Yeah.
And I had to like deliver. You know what I mean? Like you had to bring it. It's like, but I wanted to do that new story that's 12 minutes and it should be 3. I'm just gonna do it.
Yeah.
But that's part of that's the draw to this stuff, man. It's like it's a game. It's
always evolving.
It's like a sport. Like we just constantly practicing and getting collegiate, high school collegiate, pro, retired, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Sports announcer.
I mean, that's what keeps it interesting. You never feel like you've peaked or anything like that. Yeah.
Has any big comedian said complimented you after a show where it's kind of been like amazing to hear?
Yeah, I'm trying to think of.
Dude, give us your clout. You're so humble.
I mean, I guess I got to talk to Theo Vaughn.
Nice.
I knew Theo in like 2017 when he was, and I like booked a show and I got him on a show. So
cool.
I knew him from then, but I got to reconnect with him like I guess like a year and a half ago.
Nice.
And that was really cool because he was like, oh, I've seen your stuff online, and that was very. I don't know. The fact that he remembered me meant a lot.
It can be very validating when people you like be like, "Oh, that was funny." You know?
Yeah. It's Bill Burr too. Bill Burr. I played like a small role in his movie.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm sorry. I saw you in that. That was great.
The scooter guy.
Yes, I forgot. That totally tracks for you.
Yeah.
I forgot. That's awesome, man.
And he was complimentary too, which meant a lot.
That's awesome.
Yeah, he's a super nice guy.
Yeah, and that's where you're at, which is really fun. Is you kind of show up to your thing, and these little pushes help you. Like, not that we need it, but the validation's nice. Like,
oh, totally. Yeah,
it just helps push you along a little bit.
It's the best thing in the world. Yeah.
Bill Burr is he's probably one of the best ever. That's amazing.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Compliment, dude.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Wow. That's good, man. Well, you're doing your thing. I feel like it's a fun time to be where you're at. Like you're hustling.
Hustling, yeah.
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 But you're not like you're not jaded about it, which is refreshing.
No, Yeah, I think it's I think trying to get to that place every morning of just wanting to create.
Yeah,
it's the best because I you can't get sucked into the ego thing and status comparisons, and I think no matter where you're at, you can always look at someone who you perceive as being farther ahead or whatever it is, and that's just a trap,
Yeah.
It doesn't really matter as long as you're having fun and doing what you want to do. That's all I think that's what it's all about.
Yeah, that's my biggest bone to pick with this town and our business is it's a lot of where you're at in the lane and the speed of it. And I've been in cogs of it my whole career, and it's kind of like I'm like you now. It's kind of like I just want to get better, and that makes it more freeing because you're like, all right, that guy's headlining the country. Great. I'm working on my material. Whatever. You know, it's not like
you just get to play.
Yeah, and I've met a lot of miserable older comics here. Yeah, which is also interesting.
In the studio?
In L.A.
Oh yeah.
Where you realize, like, you see people, and I'm no disrespect, but you're like, I don't want to be 20 years from now, like, being mean about young comics. Like, you know what I mean?
Are they successful, or are they kind of just...
I think it depends on who it is, but, like, there's something about this town that I think you can get really bitter. I just don't want to ever be that way about, because, like, the theme of this episode, I'm realizing, meeting you and chatting with you, is, like, it is that, you know, being able to play, having that gratitude for the fun, waking up every day to create. We can't lose that because we do it so much, you know? But people here, I just feel like there's a lot, it's very saturated with mixes of people, dreams not made, or whatever it is, you know?
Yeah, 100%. It is, and you're like, what, you know? Yeah, I kind of always just go back to, like, looking back. I'm like, are you just going to spend all your time being miserable? And, I don't know. It's a privilege.
Are you an optimist?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Me too.
You?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not, you know what it is? Not all most comics aren't.
No.
Even though they're funny.
Yeah.
That's really what it comes down to. Like, I think that's part of what my struggle is like, I'm grass is always greener.
Yeah.
Oh, no, that's the wrong phrase. The cup is half.
Cup is half full.
Grass is always greener would be I'd be missing something and want something else.
The Presidente is half full.
Yeah. Or maybe empty in all of this county.
Oh, dude.
You think the Mexicans would have that beer here? What the hell, dude?
I know.
No one had it.
No one's got Presidente?
They're all Modelo's and you know, it's messed up, man. We're so close to the border.
They don't care about politics.
Yeah. They don't care, man. Well, I'm so glad I got to hang with you in here. I want to make sure everyone follows you if they don't know you. Chad Goes Deep?
Chad Goes Deep on Instagram. Chad and JT on TikTok. Chad and JT Go Deep on YouTube.
Nice.
And
appreciate you coming, man.
Thanks for having me.
Or I should say, even though I'm older, preach.
Dude, preach, yeah.
Preach.
Dude, thanks for having me. This is a blast.
Dude. So good to have you.
Coffee.
No, we both spilled our coffees. We called some places. We had a good time.
Yeah.
I put you on the spot already today, but let's just end, because we have to end this way with a little Chaditation to take us out. Thanks, bro.
100%. All right, sit up. Back straight. Your dome feel like it's being gently lifted by Hulk Hogan. Root yourself in your seat by your root chakra and your dome chakra. Let the energy pour out of you. Breathe in. Breathe out. Focus on the breath. Think about what you're grateful for. Game of Thrones. Zaw. Tits. And open your eyes.
We've never ended an episode this nice. Complete peace. See you guys. This episode was brought to you by Barefoot Dreams. Barefoot Dreams, our sponsor this season, gives us the comfiest products I've ever felt. They got cool things going on with Barbie, Disney, Star Wars. You can get robes, blankets, things with these brands, and also just on their own. They also make clothes, furniture. They've branched out to really become the coolest home decor and lifestyle brand I've ever seen or been a part of. And it's truly because of the way it feels. The cozy chic fabric is something I've never felt before. I want you guys to make your life cozier. Check them out. Put in the promo code POPUP15 for 15% off your first purchase at barefootdreams.com. I'll see you next week.